morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And we appreciate everybody stopping in to hear the presentation and have a conversation about transitioning to worker ownership in cooperatives. So thank you so much for all the folks in the room who have traveled many great distances to be here, and thank you for those of you who are able to live stream in and join us that way. If you can't hear us on the live stream, please do let us know, and we'll see if we can use the mic to make that a little bit easier. And so, without further ado, I'm Danny. I work at the Adirondack North Country Association, and I'm the Businesses in Transition Coordinator for the Center for Businesses in Transition, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But I would love to introduce and welcome Christy Wilt, and I'll let her tell you all about what she does and the amazing work that she's doing here in the county. So, do I change it with this, Danny? Yeah. Okay. So fancy.
All right. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christy Wilt. I am the Director of Economic Development, Planning and Tourism for Hamilton County. Also for the Industrial Development Agency for Hamilton County. And with me today is my tourism liaison/aide, Rochelle Marks. Today's workshop is brought to you by the Center for Businesses in Transition. We'll be discussing all kinds of creative ways and helpful tips for helping folks transition to employee ownership. This is the third workshop in a series being held throughout the North Country. These workshops are hosted in person and virtually, and eventually posted on YouTube. Our partners in this project include the Adirondack North Country Association, Cornell Cooperative Extension, St. Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce, the Small Business Development Center at SUNY Canton, Essex County Industrial Development Agency, Franklin County Industrial Development Agency, and the Ticonderoga Area Chamber of Commerce. There's our partners. In Hamilton County, we have quite a few ways that we can be helpful to both new and existing businesses. We have our hamiltoncounty.com website, which is our government site. Rochelle and I maintain the site for all departments and county services. So we are the only two that can change this website for you. On our site, we use it as a tool, and we can help those looking to sell their businesses by posting them on the website. So in the next slide, you'll see we have a list. This
Christy,
goes on and on for pages.
If you turn some of the lights off, it's difficult to see it.
Over the other end.
This one?
The first one is the fluorescent.
That one? Is
There
that
you
better?
go.
Okay.
Much better.
So, as you can see in this slide, we list commercial real estate here. We frequently check real estate websites to see if new commercial listings are available. And if they're posted on those websites, we put them on ours. If someone has a private business that's not currently listed with a real estate broker, we're more than happy to put those on here as well, free of charge, with that person's contact information. Like shown on this page, a picture of the business will be posted with a brief description and contact information. We also manage a Hamilton County relocation website. It's called the Adirondack Good Life site. This is helpful in people that want to relocate. It shows business opportunities here as well. It gives some information about communities. It tells about school district. It gives tax information, and those kinds of things that can be useful to someone who wants to know what it's actually going to cost to live in Hamilton County. So there's the business opportunities section of this site. Again, it's just a scroll through list with pictures and brief descriptions. Then in our office, we also host the Hamilton County Industrial Development Agency. We can help both new and existing businesses. We have loan applications listed on the site with eligibility requirements. Applications are confidential and reviewed by me in our office before they are presented to a board. Your local Industrial Development Agency board is made up of 7 volunteers, one from each town, a secretary, and a non-voting executive director. That's me. Loans are reviewed by the board. Decisions are usually made within the same day of the review, unless there's more questions that need to be answered. The IDA is not a bank. They're willing to take a risk and lend creative financing. They're also willing to cover gap financing if you don't have enough equity between what you need for the bank and us, we're more than happy to fill that gap. Other partners we have, we partner with the North Country Alliance, who also has revolving loan funds, much of the same terms for much of the same projects. I also sit on the Lake Champlain Lake George Regional Planning Board, and they also do revolving loan funds. These funds can, if you have someone who wants to transition from an employee to a business owner, they can borrow from all of these funds and put them together. There's not a restriction on only borrowing from one or two. So, and there's their website, and there's an outline of who they loan to. On the committee, as you can see, they loan to businesses in Clinton, Essex, Warren, Washington, Jefferson, Lewis and St. Lawrence counties. And then we also have the Hamilton County Workforce Development Center, which is located in Indian Lake. And they can help list jobs, career opportunities, but they can also help pay for training. So. And then we work with our wonderful partners at the Small Business Development Center. They've become invaluable to us because with all of those loan programs, they know how to help folks write out their business plans in order for them to get accepted by those loan programs. So usually our first stop is if someone wants to apply for a loan for a business, we send them right to the Small Business Development Center if they don't have a business plan written. And lastly, we also can help by new and existing businesses by promoting your business on our tourism website, along with our partners from I Love New York, Roost, and Visit the Adirondacks. We want to help you promote your business and your success through our office with our tourism partners, our website AdirondackExperience.com, our website HamiltonCounty.com, and the Adirondack Good Life site. Anything that we can do to help you, please don't hesitate to call our office. My business cards are on the table there. And now I would like to introduce you to our moderator from the Center for Business and Transition, Daniel DeLane. Thank you.
Great, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Christy, for the warm reception. And I also just want to thank Sue Merrill from Senator Gillibrand's office for joining us today for the program. Are we good with hearing everybody? Good. So I'm coming from ANCA, the Adirondack North Country Association. So we work in regional economic development in a few different sectors, but we really try to promote the new economy throughout our region. We work in the 14 northernmost counties of New York, mainly in helping businesses, small businesses, in clean energy and local food systems, and we do that in a variety of ways. But we promote local jobs and businesses. We've been around since the 1960s, but how we work in our rural communities has changed a lot over the years with the needs, right? So there's a time in our history where we had to move sheep from one farm to another. I use that a lot, but it's funny. So, you know, as we go along, we really try to fill in some of the gaps where there aren't other services or programs. We work to really focus on sort of sustainable community work that helps move us from a traditionally extractive economy, like these things, into programs and development that are really community-based and smaller scale, and folks work together to make those things happen. So like I said, we work in local food, we help with farm-to-school programs, we help in the food system, we work with local energy, helping get solar panels and municipal LED street lighting, all sorts of different programs there, and then with local businesses. So one of the things that we do here at the Adirondack Experience Museum, thank you so much for hosting us today here, is promote and co-sponsor the Made in the Adirondacks Fair. So every year they have vendors from all around the Adirondacks who are artisans selling their products right here at the museum. We also do help folks who are small-scale artisans or crafters get to a point where they're ready for wholesale and connect them with retailers through Adirondack Buyer Days, which is a program that's been going on for over 30 years that happens in Saratoga and really helps folks have an entry level into whether or not wholesaling is right for them. And we also work with small businesses in a number of different ways as well, helping with grant applications and things like that. But what we also do is work with our regional partners in collaboration to fill needs as they arise. And one of those needs that was identified about 2 years ago was there needed to be a good regional economic analysis to really identify some of the key sectors that we could focus on as a region and as partners going forward. And out of that work, which we did with a bunch of different universities and colleges and organizations, we worked with the Center for Rural Entrepreneurship to put together this regional economic analysis, which focuses on craft and manufacturing, local food and value-added agriculture, and sustainable tourism. And I should say those were the things that came out of it that could be the sort of 3 top level buckets that we might be able to promote and work together to develop strategies around in our region. But out of that as well came something that we knew was happening but wanted some real data around, which is we have a lot of retiring baby boomers. We have a lot of retiring business owners. It's a national issue, but it's something here that is a regional issue as well in any rural or urban area. But here, from that analysis, we were able to identify, this is a ballpark, it's not a hard and fast number, but somewhere between 10 and 16,000 business owners in our region are probably in the baby boomer demographic and maybe looking to retire coming up. So we call the Center for Businesses in Transition, which is a totally new program that just launched in January of this year, a center, but it doesn't really have one physical location. We work with a partnership with organizations throughout the region. We have community liaisons and supporters who are out there doing the groundwork like Christy and Rochelle to really get folks all of these wonderful resources that already exist in our region, but we weren't able to leverage just as one organization here and there. So we really focus on sort of pooling all of our best practices and our good thought work together to be able to bring those things to everyone. So for having one event here, we're able to sort of share that with other chambers, other IDA organizations, other leaders throughout our region who are interested, so that we can share all of those resources. So we work with matchmaking services with potential buyers. So if somebody is not looking to sell to their employees or doesn't have enough employees to make that an option, we are looking for aspiring entrepreneurs and to connect to them with existing available opportunities and access to planning tools and events, sort of that first line of education. One of the things that came out of the interviews that we were having and leading up to the launch of this project is that for most folks it takes at least 3 to 5 years to really be able to get into that transition, to have it completed. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but there is quite a timeline. And so just getting folks to start thinking about that is a big barrier to access and making sure that everyone's succession plan gets to go the way they had intended. So we are really out there just telling people to start thinking about it and providing them with all of the resources that already exist that they might want to tap into, most of which are free. So as Christy mentioned, these are all of our partners that have a community liaison in our office, in their own office. So they have a designated individual or 2 individuals who are focused on doing this work in their community. Sometimes that looks like being a community liaison, making sure that all the chambers in their county know about what's going on, focusing on collaborating and getting people together. And sometimes in the case of the SBDC and the case of Cornell Cooperative Extension and folks like CDI, the Cooperative Development Institute, and Frank also works at the SBDC, that's more technical services. So we're able to partner with those folks who can work with people on a one-on-one basis as well to get through what they need to get through for their transition. So we focus on helping people regardless of the type of transition they're looking to do. So whether they're looking to sell on the open market, intergenerational family transitions, or conversions to employer worker ownership. We help people explore their options. That's sort of the baseline of the work. Is there's a lot of different ways to go about this. We're trying to provide as many workshops and information as possible to see what might be good for them. So we're looking for business owners looking to transition, of course, but also aspiring entrepreneurs looking to purchase or transition. So since the launch of this program, we've had 65 businesses contact us directly, have filled out an inquiry form, are working with us to be connected to partners, and that we're sort of tracking and having conversations with them regularly about their intentions. And we've had 12 aspiring entrepreneurs looking to connect with an existing business, and 2 investors who are just looking to purchase something outright. So in 2019, so far, we've had a number of different workshops. Like Christy said, this is the third one. But the two that that have already happened, with Business Transitions Overview and the Preparing to Sell Your Business, are both available online. And our next one coming up is about intergenerational family transitions. We'll be doing that one with the St. John Fisher School of Business, and they'll be talking about working with cohorts and things like that to get through that. And then Aspiring Entrepreneurs will be in August. We also are working with the Cornell Cooperative Extension. They put together an entire farm transition series. So if you work in agriculture or in farms, there is an online course and program that they've put together that is separate and focused on that industry. And one of the resources that's been really, really helpful is we help to sponsor and work with the SBDC to develop some business valuation workshops. So those are also available online on our website. And we flew a guy in, his name is Peter Pappas, who focuses on valuation. And so this was a really good opportunity for folks to ask questions from an expert without having to pay for a full valuation, but really learn as much as they can before they talk to their CPA. And we've been working with the SBDC in Clinton County, but the Canton SBDC, to sort of help focus on valuations for retiring business owners. And then family transition programming and peer-to-peer groups, like I said, for next month, that's going to be the topic of the workshop. So we develop case studies of transitions that have gone well and that have a successful new owner. We just did one for the Pines restaurant outside of Malone in New York, and I can share that with anyone who's interested. And then we also are able to develop semi-anonymous business listings and talk to people. So a lot of the times, or not a lot of the times, but often, folks may not be ready to say, okay, I'm going to transition, I need to find a new person, but I'm not ready to put it up on the world for the world to see. I'm not ready to sell with a real estate agent. So they can come and talk to us confidentially. We can talk about what they're looking for. And because our region is so large, 14 counties, we can say, oh, there's a pizza shop somewhere in the North Country, but we don't have to say it's Bob's Pizza Shop on Racket Lake or whatever, right? So we can talk about those opportunities with an aspiring entrepreneur and see if we can get them connected. They can sign a non-disclosure agreement, but be able to talk about those sort of semi-anonymously and get that conversation started if they're not ready to have that sort of hard conversation and say, I'm going to let everybody know I'm retired. And then if there's folks that are really public about it, we're just doing our best to amplify that message. If there's entrepreneurial programming going on, we show up and talk about the available businesses. So we've been doing that at a number of different events, probably about one a week since January. Just here's a bunch of stuff that's available. So we're going to do that at the Fort Drum coming up. We've done it at a number of different events across the region.